Welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever it is in your part of the world. I'm having my first cup of coffee and enjoying this beautiful, cool morning for autumn. As I take a sip, let's dive right in. Another exchange, Poloniex, spins out from Circle with new backing and global focus. A little into this, we are excited to announce that we are spinning out from Circle into a new company, Polo Digital Assets Limited, with the backing of a major investment group. The spin-out will free us to focus on the needs of global crypto traders with new features, assets, and services. Our first new offer to Poloniex traders is that effective October 21, 2019, all spot trading fees will be reduced to 0% until the end of the year. Poloniex intends to continue beyond that with highly competitive and creative pricing models for traders. Wanted to lightly go into that because it adds to our previous video with many of the exchanges closing and pulling out from U.S. customers. And again, I believe that is because of regulations that are soon to come, or maybe they're here and have yet to be announced. We'll see if possibly that's one of the announcements at Swell. The next piece of news is cryptocurrency exchange Poloniex is now Polo Digital Assets. So again, I feel like it is part of the regulations as they have left the U.S. customers, but also changed their name. Another thing that's going to be a big surprise for a lot of the world who are not financial investors into digital assets or cryptocurrencies, or even more so, that haven't even heard of them, as Zero Hedge makes a post about the end of money. I think if you are unaware, it's probably going to be a big shock even reading this, because it all connects to what you and I most likely know. If you're a new person in the space, you may want to take a read and then connect that back to the digital assets. Again, all of these links will be in the description below. I'm not going to go into this one. It's a brief read, but it is lengthy. Now we're going to go right into this, and they all connect because you have regulations coming that is getting ready to launch for US, and the rest of the world will follow. Then you have the coming end of money, as people are familiar, into the great wealth transfer, right into a new category of digital assets and digital currencies. On the news today, the great wealth transfer, they're expected to be $68 trillion about to change hands into the U.S. I will go into this briefly. Baby boomers are the wealthiest generation in American history, and they're about to pass down those riches over the next few decades. It's the so-called Great Wealth Transfer. Yet that exchange might not be as large as you had hoped if you don't take the right estate planning steps. The biggest wealth transfer in history is about to happen, and it's now expected to be more than double what many thought it was. It's estimated that 45 million U.S. households will transfer $68 trillion in wealth over the next 25 years. According to Asher Cheeses, a research analyst and lead author of a new report from financial services research firm Cerulli Associates, baby boomers, who hold the lion's share of that amount, are the wealthiest generation in American history, thanks in no small part to a 10-year bull market. That generation will pass down those assets over the next few decades. Here's what you should know to make sure that transfer is as smooth as possible. And knowing baby boomers with the great wealth transfer, we're going to go right into this article. According to the consulting firm Accenture, baby boomers have already started passing along their assets to their heirs. and we're only in the early stages. An estimated 30 trillion in financial and non-financial assets in North America are at stake in this inheritance boom. In theory, banks should be the biggest benefactors of this phenomenon known as the Great Wealth Transfer. These younger benefactors will need to do something with their newfound money. They'll need to invest it somehow. At the very least, millennials will need to park their money somewhere. But here's the problem. Millennials don't like banks. They've seen their parents lose money through traditional investing. They're getting married later and carrying more debt. But most importantly, they're expecting innovation in the financial services space to come from outside the financial services industry. And that's where they are going to be extremely excited as they begin to learn about digital assets. The next piece will connect that and be informative for those who are new and those who are part of the baby boomer Great Wealth Transfer and looking for somewhere to go. The difference between cryptocurrency and digital assets, and why should holders care? We'll lightly go into this. For anyone who knows, it's going to be repetitive information. For those of you that are new, it's going to be exciting information. As cryptocurrencies and digital assets are two different things, but it is not surprising that they frequently get confused with one another because they are both traded with on the same platforms, and they can be exchanged for one another. But there are quite a few differences between the two types of financial tools. So let's take a closer look at this digital age concepts and see why it isn't so important to know the differences. I'll lightly go into the first two, and then again you can follow more information on the links below. Cryptocurrency versus digital assets. A cryptocurrency is a digital currency in which encryption techniques are used to regulate the generation of units of currency and verify the transfer of funds, operating independently of a central bank. A digital asset is any text or media that is formatted into a binary source and includes the right to use it. Digital files that do not include this right are not considered digital assets. A digital asset can range anywhere from motion pictures to documents and any other type of data one can think of. And this article gets a little more informative for the new people, as you have blockchain versus public ledger, supply limit versus supply infinity, intrinsic value, where does Zorum stand in this story, and why should holders care? So I think this is a good bit of information for the newer people and part of the boomers who are looking to put their money somewhere. My summary of this, as more and more exchanges begin to close, again, I can only relate that back to being part of regulations that they know are soon to come. They're most likely aware of, and they're preparing before the deadline. I believe as more and more people outside of the industry, outside of the cryptocurrency, digital asset space, are now realizing that money is soon coming to an end, as they are aware. Many of them are just unaware that it will move into a digital currency, which you and I are familiar with. And as the Great Wealth Transfer comes in and the baby boomers start inheriting all of this newfound wealth, they're younger people, they do not like banks. Where are they going to turn? Digital assets. With a digital asset, your phone has become your bank. Your new cold storage or hot wallet has become your bank. There's no longer that middleman, and your currency doesn't take 3 to 5 days to clear. Your currency has now become instantaneous, whether you're sending or receiving, and you hold it yourself, knowing that you're not losing on the negative interest rates or zero interest rates in your bank. It is inflationary. As the standard currency drops, it's only going to bring more and more rise out of this. Again, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. We hope you're having a great day, and we will catch you in the next one.